It's Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come on!
Buenos dias, brochachos. It is another Sunday edition of Swing for the Fences. We talk DFS. We talk betting. I don't know where Gary went. I think he got offended when I told him that his pubes looked like his beard, and he kind of shaped them that way. JJ and Joey work, so wonderful to see you both. Hopefully he'll come back and he won't be as offended anymore. Here he is. Hold on a second. Let's get Gary up here. And then we got to change. Gary, what are you doing? What are you doing, Gary? Are you upset?
No, I don't know what just happened. Like, I was sitting here ready to go, and all of a sudden the shit just went blank. Now I can't get my virtual background back up. Like,
okay. I was just hoping you weren't upset about the Beard Bush comment. Anyways, we have Joey Work here, who is on an absolute heater. Go to runpurebets.com, tail Joey's action. Joseph, what's going on, man? I go out of town for a few days. I come back. You're on a roll again. Big shocker. How's it going?
It's going well. It is a grind. You know, we play baseball every day. There's ups and downs. We're on a good swing here. We're going to continue to, try to bank units day by day. Appreciate the chat already. Jacob, my guy, Chuck, Daniel, Brittany, appreciate you all. Much love. Happy to be here.
I mean, they're definitely not here for JJ. They're here for Joey on the bet side. JJ, good morning. You're a little bit blurry. You look like the Unabomber who just died. Talk to us. What's happening in your world?
Just trying to create a dark element for this show. I feel like everybody just jerks each other off on this show. Just trying to be that truth serum where, we all can abide by, my standards of darkness. What I will say is Joey's been absolutely crushing it. So kudos there. And last week, Gary and I did this show by ourselves. We got this show whipped up in about 45 minutes because, we understand how time frames work. We're able to move the show along. We extend time when needed. We remove time when needed. Some would call me a good host in that regard, Holden. I just hope you could,
I think you suck at it. And it only went 45 minutes. There's no mandate that these shows have to go an hour. So obviously you think race cars are more important than baseball, and I don't know why. You've got nothing, obviously. Really good stuff.
I've already said my piece. We can move on to Gary.
I know you did. Can't wait till JJ's gone. He'll go to the NASCAR show here early. Gary will leave, and then me and Joey will talk about Sunday Night Baseball. So that'll be wonderful. It's great to see all of you today. And welcome back in. Jim Wadham. JJ's off a 2-0 day. Have some respect. Congratulations, JJ. Way to go.
It's the little things in life these days, Holden.
It's great to see. So we got big slate this afternoon. Gary has done the playbook. If you haven't checked out runpuresports.com and the playbook, Gary, what did you do today? You wake up in the morning. What time you wake up in the morning? And what is the playbook? What do you do so the people that haven't signed up yet will sign up for the DFS side?
Yeah, so I wake up about, 8:30, 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. Get my cup of Joe, go smoke me a stogie outside, and then get the juices flowing. You got to get the juices flowing early on a Sunday morning before we pick the winners, right? So
do you really smoke a stogie in the morning, or are you just saying that?
I mean, when I say stogie, it's a cigarette, but yeah, I do every morning.
Don't smoke cigarettes, kids. But anyways,
it's the same thing as smoking pot. Like, what's the difference?
No difference. Not the same thing.
It is not the same as smoking weed at all, dude.
The same thing.
Cigarettes are disgusting. They smell bad. They make you smell bad. They have chemicals in them.
Maybe Gary meant just as much pressure on the old lungs. Maybe that's what he meant.
Nope. Yeah, probably. Cigarettes are better for you than smoking blunts. Anyways, Gary, what's in the playbook today?
Great. So I get up. I start with pitching. I really get the pitching dialed in. I got 7 pitchers listed today. I think it's a very interesting slate because I think we have some chalky guys at the top that I'm not going to go towards more. So I start with the pitching, and then I go into the stacks. I put all my 5-man stacks there at the bottom of the playbook under the stack summary, and then I go into mini stack. And then after that, I wait about 30 minutes, hopefully get all the lineups in, and then I put the player pool in to make sure we got everybody in the lineup. So
I apologize, Gary, because nobody likes you in the chat right now. You have spoken ill of marijuana, And you don't know. You got to play to the crowd, buddy. You got to play to the crowd.
True.
I'm a gummy guy, so it's fine.
I didn't know Gary was a gummy guy. Wonderful to see you all today. Let's get into this slate. We'll start with the DFS thing. Actually, we're going to start with the bets thing. We had a big conversation about how the show should work and go around. I don't remember what we said, so I'm just going to go back to the bets, guys, and we'll go.
Holden takes a week off. Holden takes a week off, forgets how the fucking show runs.
It was only 4 days.
It's absolutely his hair looks like shit today too, Joe. It's absolutely.
Are you
crazy.
shitting me? Look at this mane.
Look at this mane. You're back with the fucking Snooky poof. It's just like it's from the back.
A Snooky poof.
It looks like it's inflated. Like get a haircut. Wear that style the right way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It
looks like you walk. It looks like when you're eating your cereal this morning too. You dunked your chin into the fucking milk.
No, I'm doing this for my daughter as a Father's Day gift to her. I said, "What do you want for Father's Day?" She said, "I want you to keep your beard." So I'm gonna go do that. All right.
Cream on the chin, cream in the hair.
You hate children. Both of you hate children. That's disgusting. We got one guy that hates marijuana smoking, and the other two hate children. This is what we're doing today, folks.
I got more into that.
Yeah, that's not true.
So, Gary, I'm going to go to you. We're going to start with the DFS, my friend. We've got quite a few games on the docket here. Why do we have Minnesota, Detroit? It's been moved up, so we don't have it anymore, and it's time to get to Seattle more.
But
all right. So anybody that's playing today, get that off the schneid.
Well, hold on. So that game is on the FanDuel slate. So
it's too late.
That locked in 2 minutes. So we put a couple fours are up for FanDuel, but I just put my pitcher and I'm fading the first game for bets. So
Chris Myers. I'm not ready to get into this show yet. Chris Myers, 3 goats make Holden look good. Go fuck yourself. Good. Is that Myers? Myers, I didn't know your first name was Chris. Wonderful to see you here. Wonderful to see you. Joey, one of the hottest hands in the card game.
That's right, Timmy.
Do you still just yell at the guys when you're opening the boxes and then they just respond? They're like, "We love Joey Work." You just yell at them, right?
Yeah. I posted a new video on my TikTok at Joey Work. It's a great video. I pulled a nice 101 Alex Pereira. I turned the face cam on and I just start yelling.
Yeah. And then there's shots fired at the hair coming from JJ, who looks like a shaved pube head. Anyways, now we're going to get into the actual DFS side of things. We got Seattle, Baltimore. We'll start there. We got Kirby on the mound. Now, listen, usually we'll just go through pitching on the DFS shows during the week. Today, we get everything. We get Joey and JJ breaking it down from a bet side, and then Gary breaking it down from a DFS side. So talk to me here. I like Bradish. I'm a big Bradish guy. I've got him at 6,100 on DK today. Kirby's on the other side. And then maybe you could talk about the offenses here, Mr. Gary.
Yeah. So the first thing I do when I look at the slate the night before, I just glance at the prices, the pitcher pricing, and the first pitcher that I always scroll to the bottom. I want to see who's cheap that really shouldn't be this cheap. And today it's Bradish. I mean, I think Kyle Bradish, he's probably like a league average pitcher at this point. But he's been better than the $6,100 price tag. So, I like him here a ton. One of my favorite pitchers on the slate. And I don't think he's going to get too much ownership either. Like I said, I think Glasnow is going to pick up a lot. Garrett Cole's going to always pick up ownership, which I don't like even versus Texas. And then Yuri Perez will be softy. So, I don't see Bradish coming in with a lot of ownership here at all. I like this. I like targeting against the Seattle team. I think they've struck out the most in the league. They just strike out. I mean, that's all they do. The lineup's got a 26% strikeout rate over the last 30 days. So I like Bradish here quite a bit. And on the other side, I actually like the Baltimore bats here. I was looking at some exciting stats over the last 30 days. It's very concerning against lefties. 333 ISO and a 434 WOBA against lefties, with a 62% hard contact rate over the last 30 days against left-handed bats. It's going to be warm. Say that again?
Bradish is a righty.
No, wait. No, I'm talking about Kirby. No.
Kirby pitches righty too.
Yeah, I'm talking about he's been sucking against lefties.
Oh, copy.
You got to keep up, Joey Work.
Joey Bell, you're muted. I don't know what the fuck you're saying either.
I didn't want to cut anyone off, so I just put it on mute.
Yeah. So back to what I was saying. So Kirby, he's just absolutely terrible against lefties. I know overall in the season, I mean, I'm a believer in Kirby long term, I think. But the short term stuff is very concerning. I like Cedric Mullins. Santander has been on a little heater recently. He got me a homer yesterday. See my core at 2%. I think he could do it again today. I like Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn, even Aaron Hicks. The ghost of Aaron Hicks has learned how to hit in Baltimore. I guess he got to put a beard on for once, and he's feeling better about himself now. So yeah, I definitely like the Orioles here. I like him as a 5-man stack. I like him as a 3-man stack. And I'm definitely on Bradish on the other side.
Now I'm off mute. I really wanted to jump in there. JJ, it's your turn. I know you don't have anything on this game today, but we have Baltimore and Seattle. Would you like to give us a little a shot there?
Yeah, very strong lean Seattle. I wish this line was -110, which I thought it would come out around. I'm surprised it came out what I consider to be right at -125. Kirby's a better pitcher. Seattle's got better bullpen depth today. Baltimore ran through their arms yesterday. And I'm not convinced that Baltimore has a better lineup today. So I think you have a lot of check boxes in favor of Seattle. The fact that they're on the road, though, makes this line relatively fair. But considered a strong lean for me at -125 for Seattle.
All right. Very good. So that's the first game. Joey Work, you got anything else on the M's who are -118 on the road? Orioles even money and 8.5 is the total.
Yeah, I agree with JJ. I bet the Mariners both games in this series. I was very close to going back to them here. I mean, Bradish's advanced numbers are not very good. He's given up 421 slugging against, almost 400 waiting on base percentage against. The only really good thing that he has to show is he doesn't walk many people. Kirby, on the other hand, definitely has struggled a little bit as of late, but I think he probably has a good start here in a pitcher-friendly park. I definitely prefer the Mariners bats over the Orioles. I think we start seeing the Orioles, lose a couple games here, and maybe, they may go on a little sway where they drop a little bit in the AL East standings, and we just have to figure out when that's going to be, and I think that's going to be very soon. So, yeah, I agree with JJ. I didn't fire, but I was very close to taking the Mariners again.
All right, let's move on to our next game. Texas and the Yankees. The Rangers bats, they were pretty red hot. They've come into New York, have not been the same that they've been in the past, although they ran themselves out of the inning at a play at home plate yesterday. Anyways, Rangers at the Yankees, Eovaldi and Garrett Cole. We got a good pitching matchup here, Gary. Let's break this one down from a DFS side. And just to let you know, pretty even odds. Rangers -105, Yankees -13. And the total here is 8. I've been big on betting the Rangers run line this year. It's +160. I'm not hitting it today. Gary, from a DFS side, what are we doing with the pitchers first? Any bats you like? Maybe a home run call against Garrett Cole.
I like to despise Garrett Cole in this spot. I think it's just a terrible matchup for him. And this Texas team just hits bombs. That's what they do. I know you said they cooled off a little bit. They've done a lot better at home this year for whatever reason. But man, Garrett Cole gives up multiple bombs. It seems like every start, and this lineup is loaded with left-handed power bats. I like him as a stack here in DFS. They're going to be very low owned from that perspective. Garrett Cole's probably still going to be the second or third highest owned pitcher in the slate, which I don't really understand, especially given the context of the slate and how many cheap pitchers we have in good spots. So I'm on the Rangers side here. And on the other side, Eovaldi, I mean, it's just a tough play in DFS for me. He's definitely going to be low owned. He's the highest owned pitcher, he's the highest priced pitcher on the slate, the second highest behind Garrett Cole. But you're just hoping he gets through 7 innings clean with 4 to 5 strikeouts. This is possible. I just can't do it from DFS. So I'm out on both pitchers in this game and on the Texas Rangers bat.
Joey Work, what do you think about the pitching matchup with Cole and Eovaldi? And then on the betting side, we basically not heavy favorites for the Yankees today. Any thoughts on the pitching matchup in the game?
Yeah, if the Rangers score 3 runs, they win the game because the Yankees ain't fucking scoring more than 2.5 runs. I'll tell you that. This offense is blind. They can't hit the side of a friggin' barn right now. Willie Calhoun is now hurt. I know Bader came back, but whoop-de-doo. Jake Bauers is like bats 4 for this team every freaking day. Billy McKinney had a solo homer yesterday. That was the only run they scored. I know Evaldi, the question mark really is around Evaldi. The last couple starts, he struggled. I know his velo was down his last start. He's blaming it on mechanical issues, so we'll see if that is fixed. But otherwise, this guy has been Cy Young quality so far this year. I think Garrett Cole probably pitches good too, but I definitely prefer the Texas Rangers offense over the New York Yankees at this time of point. So, again, I think this is going to be low scoring, but if the Rangers score 3 runs, I think they win this game. So that's where I'm at.
JJ, what do you think of the Rangers and the Yankees today in the Bronx?
Yeah, I agree, Joey. I think it's tough to back the Yanks. I mean, you look back like a year or two ago, you'd see Garrett Cole at home at practical minus 110. You'd almost feel like it's an auto slam, but it's all the credit and respect to the Eovaldi and the Texas bats have been having. But yes, they've been kind of slow rolling into this series. This series in particular with scoring runs. So I do agree with Joey. That does make sense for a low run output, but the total is relatively low for this stadium. And boy, is it warm today in New York. So you're going to get some extra carry on the ball. Which obviously could potentially influence runs. The other thing to consider here, if you're betting the Yankees, they just absolutely taxed that pen yesterday. So you better hope Cole goes like 8 innings if you're going to back them today, because Evaldi eats innings, and Texas will have their good bullpen arms lined up to come in after him. So just something to consider as well. I don't have any strong take on this game. Again, I'd argue that Cole at a pick'em makes a lot of sense, but you're just going to need him to go 8 innings against one of the best batted teams this year. So stay away from me, lean Cole, but to Joey's point, I do think he's going to have to pitch really well for them to win today.
All right, hit the like button. You're watching on YouTube. We'd really appreciate it. Helps us out with something called an algorithm. I'll figure out what that is one of these days. And again, we got Joey work on fire. We got JJ coming off a 2-0 day. We got Gary, one of the better DFS players in the world in baseball. And then you got me. It's as simple as that. So like button to be wonderful. Summer 33 is the code. Let's keep going. Mets and Phillies. I'm checking the bet sheet here. We got nothing on the Mets and Phillies, but I'm looking forward to the bets, guys. Breakdowns. Gary Cookie Carrasco's down to 5,500 going up against Zach Wheeler today, 9,500 on DK. Any Mets or Phillies bats in a game where, we could have a delay. I'm not too concerned about it, though.
Man, I can't play either one of these pitchers. It would be Wheeler for me if I was going to do it. But like I said, I just like the cheaper pitchers on today's slate. I definitely cannot endorse a Carlos Carrasco even at the 5.5K price tag. The dude over the last 30 days has about 73% hard contact against left-handed bats. And this Philly team has got some pretty good left-handed bats, and namely Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper. And I'll include Bryson Stott in there too, because I think he's a pretty good bet for them. Philadelphia is definitely going to be one of the more popular stacks on the slate today, but for good reason. So I think I'm going to be a little bit underweight on them. I like Texas a little bit more at a lot less ownership. I just think we see bombs from them today against Cole, one of his blow-up games. So, so it'll be Philly or nothing for me pretty much. But Wheeler will have some ownership that I'm going to be under the weight or full fading. I haven't decided yet.
Hey, JJ, Mets plus 160. Phillies unbettable at minus 186 here. You want to take them on the run line, plus 104. 9.5, a hearty total in this game. Do you want to back Wheeler in any way, shape, or form against Cookie Carrasco?
Can't play Wheeler at this price against this lineup in this weather. But ironically enough, I find it kind of funny. This is obviously how DFS works, right? People will play Carrasco a month ago at 8,000. Right. But now at 5,500, nobody wants any part of him because he's been struggling. I think you always got to look at potential pitchers upside. I know Carrasco's been brutal on the road, but man, at 5,500, what exactly does he have to do for you today? Just not get completely shelled is really what has to happen. I'm looking at his projected ownership super low. I just feel like he has to be in your pool. I'm not saying you have to go like crush overweight on him, but even if you play 10% Carrasco, you'll be practically double the field. Again, you play DFS for dudes upside. People like to play this dude at 8K. It's 5,500. It's not a great spot at all, but you don't need a great result from him at this price. So, I think you should consider having Carrasco in your pool. As far as the bats, Philly's a decent stack. Obviously, you're not going to play Carrasco on the Philly stack. But the Mets have also kind of been struggling. Like even yesterday, it was nice to see them get a lot of hard hit balls yesterday. A lot of them are finding gloves. So maybe their bats are kind of finding themselves a bit. It's part of the reason why I don't want to play Wheeler. And also their lineup looks pretty good as well. But for me in this game, it would be intermingling stacks, and then I would definitely be playing some Carrasco at the price specifically.
All right, JJ. Wonderful breakdown. Joey Work, Mets, Phillies. Anything here?
As I mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago, Zach Wheeler's going to turn it around. He's pitched 3 great starts in a row. Now he gets a Mets team. I mean, the offense personally doesn't scare me. Their bullpen, I have their bullpen ranked as the 6th worst in baseball. Cookie Carrasco, I mean, he hasn't pitched more than 5 innings his last 3 starts. He went 5, he went 4, and then he went 3 innings his last 3 starts. Slugging, he's given up over 500 slugging against so far this year. Weighted on base percentage, almost 400 against. Both these teams I've seen have a lot of BVP. I've seen both pitchers a lot. And Wheeler has, advanced numbers are quite good. So it is Phillies or pass. Essentially, if you want to take the Phillies, you could lay the 1.5 if you want, but they are a home favorite. I'd rather not do that. You could take them on the first 5, lay a half run if you prefer that. That'll be the leans, but I'm staying away.
All right, this time of the show, I just want to go through the comments and get some constructive criticism here. Bradish is dog shit. Gary, is Bradish dog shit?
Cookie's more dog shit than Bradish is, I'll tell you that.
Is anybody worried about the weather? This is not constructive criticism or anything, but he's got a question here. We do have a little bit of weather in Philly and New York, but
it's raining here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I think Philly game has the worst chance for a mid-game delay of all the games today.
Of all the games. Okay. Very good.
JJ, how's the weather at your house?
Not a single drop of rain. Now I don't see the precipitation, but we've seen it even yesterday. Weird, right? Like I think it was Baltimore or Seattle, wherever that game was. It started randomly pouring or hailing before the game.
Yeah.
So I guess it could happen, but I'm no weatherman, but it does look like it should hold up without delays. But again, if it's raining now, I guess in theory it could, but it's not by me.
It's also really hot by you. Why are you wearing a sweatshirt, a hoodie this morning?
I'm not doing this show outside, Holden. So
where are you doing it from?
Inside a cool house.
Why the fuck is it so cold? You got to wear a sweatshirt.
Would you prefer I wear a tank top? Holden,
I don't care what you wear. I'm just asking a question of your wardrobe. Why, if it's 100 degrees outside, are you wearing a hoodie? Doesn't make sense.
I have hoodies lined up for shows, and this was in the rotation for today. So here we
Do you really? Is it like you have hoodies in your closet? You're like, I'm going to go through this one. Like guys wear suits, you wear hoodies. I don't even care what your answer is. Sunny in Philly, according to Hingo. So very nice this afternoon. Very sunny in Philadelphia. Oakland at Toronto. Here we go, Gary, from a DFS side. Kikuchi's only 7,200. Funky Cold Medina going to the mound for Oakland here to start at 5,200. Toronto bats in play today. And what do you think of Kikuchi?
I think Kikuchi might be one of my favorite pitchers on the slate. A lot of people are you're either a Kikuchi guy or you're not a Kikuchi guy. I guess I'm more on the side of being a Kikuchi guy than most. But he's been super awesome over the last month. He's got 28% strikeout rate to both sides of the plate. He's given up 0 power to the left side, which is fine, and 295 wOBA to righty the last month. And he gets the stone nut matchup here against Oakland, even though they are hitting the ball a little bit. I've been on the other side of this coin that on Friday and Saturday, I've been playing Oakland pitching and DFS for cheap. And now I want to go on the complete other side because this Medina guy is just really, really bad. Toronto's probably going to be the second highest owned stack on the slate today. They got a terrible bullpen behind them. You have to like Toronto here. One way to get different, Kiermaier, he's been hitting a little bit at the bottom of the lineup. He'll be a lower owned piece if you can plug in there. Even Kevin Biggio at second base, he's got a 371 wOBA against righties in the last month. So definitely like the lefties here a little bit more, but obviously Bo Bichette, you can put him in there. Ladd hit a home run the other day. I think he might be starting to heat up here. So like I said, Toronto's definitely going to be one of the top 2 stacks on the slate as far as ownership goes, but you can get different with it by playing the bottom of the lineup, guys.
All right, we'll get to some bets here in a little bit because the boys have loaded up 4 good ones. Oakland at Toronto is A's plus 240. Total is 9. Blue Jays minus 286. Minus 139 on the run line, JJ. Got a little breakdown. I want to know your thoughts on Kikuchi.
Yeah, so I know Gary mentioned, and ironically enough, it is actually a good point. You either really are a Kikuchi guy or you're not. He's not like a guy that kind of falls in between. I've never been a Kikuchi guy, and I'm sort of a closeted Seattle fan. I never liked him there either. Struggles way too much with righties. However, with this matchup in particular, to Gary's point, this is a quote-unquote get-right spot. I didn't like how Berrios pitched yesterday, to be honest. Like, I know he pitched okay, but it was a smash spot for him, and he really just pitched okay. But again, it looks like a bit of an inflated total. It's probably why it got steamed down a bit. Toronto stack makes sense. But Gary, to your point, are you playing Kikuchi with the stack of bats? Or are you just going to go solo there? One or the other. But yeah, to me, Kikuchi should be heavily in your player pools today. The spot makes sense. The price, again, it's a price game. He's 7,200. Does not need to absolutely smash for you at this price today. He basically, 6 innings, 3 earned, 5 Ks. He's there for you today with the quality start and whatnot, and gets the win as a -300 fave. So yeah, I like the Kikuchi call. He's probably going to see some decent ownership today. But no Oakland bats. I know that at times they can be trendy, but no Oakland bats. I would be loading up on Kikuchi. And me personally, I'd likely stay away from the Toronto bats and just play Kikuchi.
Okay. Joey Work, what do you think of Kikuchi? What's your stance?
I think he's poop. He's given up 11 home runs his last 7 games. The guy gives up at least 1 homer, maybe 2 every freaking start. Who are we taking from the A's to hit a homer? Carlos Perez in the 2-hole. How about it? All right. Old reliable. No, but seriously, Medina sucks too. Kikuchi sucks. Their advanced numbers, both their advanced numbers, all I see is blue everywhere. Yeah, Kikuchi, I don't trust either of these guys. I'm not betting a big favorite like this either. So it's Oakland or pass here, So if you want to have fun, bet Oakland. I mean, Oakland has been scoring the last couple of games, the last couple of series they have been scoring. They've been putting up. I think they won. So did they not? They won yesterday or no? They lost yesterday. They won the day before. So they're playing. They're in there fighting. So Oakland or pass for sure.
Again, some great analysis from our friends in the chat. Kikuchi dog shit, all caps. Hey, Gary, I mean, you're stroking your beard. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna ride with Gary here on a little Kikuchi. 2 lineups today in DFS. Let's go Kikuchi. Okay. I don't like it.
He might make my main team. I haven't decided yet.
Oh, you haven't even decided yet? Corey Pooler, maybe he's liking a little daytime A's smash. That's the one thing, dude. If you've been playing DFS, you know this. Daytime A's, they've helped you win a little bit of money. I don't think there's any percent. I don't know what Nim Fufu is talking about. What does that mean? 100% Coochie. Is that Kikuchi? Is that what he's saying? What is he saying?
No. He said, now back to DFS. You use your imagination.
Holden's too old to know what a coochie is, apparently.
No, I know what a coochie is. Actually, old people use that. And then last but not least, if you don't know Joey Bell, he was Albert Bell. He's one of the great hitters of the 90s. Real Joey Bell went to jail for stalking women. Don't remember that. Arrested again for indecent exposure. Don't remember that. No shame in my game. The only thing I remember about Albert Bell is that he tried to beat up a whole bunch of kids on Halloween. He got sued for that. He was not happy that they came into his yard, so he tried to beat the shit out of him, and I don't know what he's doing anymore. Let's move on to our next game, and that'll be Milwaukee and Cleveland this afternoon. And hold on a second. We got a play from Joey Work, but first, the DFS breakdown from Gary. It's Corbin Burns. He's not been the same guy this year. We got Savali on the other side. Thoughts on both starting pitchers and anything offensively from this game?
I like Burns here. Anytime I can get Corbin Burns a little lower owned, I'm in. I think today is one of those opportunities to get him. I'm just a little bit lower owned. I think he's going to be. I mean, I'm seeing 10%. I don't know if that's right now. But anytime I can see Burns at 10%, it's just basically an ownership play for me because I typically don't like to attack Cleveland with pitching. Just because they don't strike out. I mean, this lineup's got a 17% strikeout rate over the last 30 days. But it is Burns. If he's got his pitches going and dialed in right, I mean, he can still mow down this lineup. So I don't hate Burns in tournaments. Just definitely not a main team guy for me. But that's about it for me in this game. I don't want any parts of the bats from me.
Joey Work, both sides -105 in this one, 8.5 total. What do you like from this ball game?
I mean, if you told us last year you get a pick 'em with Corbin Burns versus Aaron Savali, what would you say?
I would say it's 2022 because it was last year.
Thanks for the input, Dick. Yeah, I know, I get it. I get it. Corbin Burns is bad. Corbin Burns has struggled, I guess, as Holden said, a little bit this year, but I mean, at the number, I have to fire here. Aaron Savali is not very good. Listen, he's pitched how many starts this year? 6 starts this year. He came back. He pitched 2 starts, got hurt, came back, and now he's pitched 4 since coming off the IL. He's given up 4 home runs his last 3 games. Gives up runs every time. His ERA so far is, his numbers so far have been quite good, but I definitely expect some negative regression coming his way. BVP wise too. Corbin Burns, 183 Cleveland bats against this guy. I know they haven't seen a crazy amount of them, but I do expect Burns is a better starter of the two. I know they don't strike out much. This Bo Naylor now got moved up too. This Guardians team doesn't strike out much, but Bo Naylor added to there. He's going to strike out a couple times. I do expect Corbin Burns probably to pitch a good game here, and I think there's a nice bounce back spot from Milwaukee to score some runs off Aaron Savali. Also, the big hog in the bullpen pitched, I want to say, back-to-back games for the Guardians. Their closer in Clase pitched back-to-back games, so I would expect him probably not to be available today. I'm taking the Brewers -110 on the money line, full game here.
JJ, what's your stance on Burns in 2023?
I will say this. I've lost every bet I've made on Corbin Burns in 2023. I think I'm 0-5. And every time I pick him, it's as a pick 'em price. So sorry in advance, Joe. I hope this works out for you. I will say, though, if I didn't see this bet on the screen for you, I was going to put this on the bet sheet as well. There's just so many things. But again, I'm a little gun shy about how much money I've lost on Corbin Burns this year. But yeah, the advanced stuff's good. You got a bullpen edge today as well. Cleveland rocked their pen yesterday. Milwaukee's got the best pen in baseball. Should be fully good to go after him. The strikeout issue obviously is a thing for DFS, Gary, as you mentioned. But, man, 10% Burns at this price. And I think people are just tired of playing him, right? You play Burns every time in DFS, and it's just like, when has he made you money this year? But, again, you just don't want to get off players like him. So definitely should be in the pool. Not saying you need to go way overweight, but you should have him in your pool today. He's pound for pound a great play. If you can just get your even half of what you had from 2022 Burns, you'd be fine. But I do agree with the play, Joey. I just haven't made money in Burns in these spots myself.
Is Smokestack what Burns you looking at, buddy? Because that stat is not even close to true.
I don't know what Smokestack's doing right now.
Yeah, but
saying, I'll say this: I too
throw out false information in the chat, you're gonna get called out.
Yeah, I too went to the Daily Picks page to enter my picks. But I wasn't going to tell you. It's just I don't have Excel and I don't know how to do it. So that was it. That was it. So wonderful. What are you looking at me like that for, JJ?
Just more tremendous content from the host.
What do you mean?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, you went to go on the sheet to put a play, but you don't have Excel. It's not even Excel. It's over like a web browser.
Oh yeah, they changed it to Google Docs. Now I can go put some plays up there, and you go the opposite way. Can we get a little roll call?
He's had 8 starts. He's given up less than 2 runs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Can we get a roll call? Where the hell is everybody today? I'm south of Denver. Gary, where are you, Gary? Marietta?
No, I'm in Virginia.
Oh, you're in Virginia.
Yorktown.
That's right. What's your address, Gary?
Yorktown, Virginia is my address.
Very good. JJ is somewhere in Jersey. Joey works somewhere in Jersey. Let's get a roll call. I'm interested in seeing where you guys are from and girls are from as well. So that's great. Big T did not know that we changed it to Google Docs either. So it wasn't just him. It was me too. This is the guy that's supposed to know everything about the company. Feeling really confident right now.
It's a Google Sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, Google Sheets. Very good. Next one.
Keep up the work, Holden.
Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Tyler Glasnow's he set up for a pretty good one, I would think, Gary, on a DFS side, 8,900. A little Danny Lynch on the other side. The Tampa Bay bats against Lynch. I guess a lot of stuff is in play here in this game on the Tampa Bay side. What make you of this one?
So this is one I've gone back and forth on a little bit today. Glasnow, for one, he's going to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate today. And he's facing the Royals. He's at home. He's facing the Royals. He's going to be popular. I just have issues. I have a couple issues with Glasnow. Like I don't. This is strictly from an ownership perspective. He's only going to go 85 pitches, 85, 90 pitches. He's not giving you 100 pitches. Yes, his price is cheap. You can argue that that's based into his price. That's fine. Last 30 days, since coming off of injury, 400 ISO, 451 WOBA against lefties. I know Vinny P is out of his lineup. I just think his walk rate is up a little bit too. I think he's got like a 11% walk rate over the last 30 days. I just see a lot of red flags here, especially as a chalk pitcher. I'm not going to MME today. I'm only doing like 3 lineups, but I'm not going to have any gloss now. I just can't do it. I prefer the cheaper guys today. I'm going to plant my flag on those guys, and I'm going to move on about my day. I do like the Tampa Bay back here just a little bit, cooled off a little bit versus lefties. But I'm not a full-time believer in Daniel Lynch, and this KC bullpen is trash too. So anytime I can get Tampa Bay low owned, and I think they'll be somewhat low owned today, I like it a lot. So not on the pitchers here, and a little bit of raised bats.
All right. JJ has a play in this one on the total. The total is 8.5 here. It's actually moved up to 9, JJ, and I wonder if it's bettable at 9. It's a little bit of a shift. Over is -104. It's shaded to the under -118. Royals +220. JJ, what do you like in this?
Yeah, so the over 9 was available when I bet the 8.5. It's not like I, purposely chose to get a worse number. It has more to do with the price point. You can get over 9 at like -122 or under 8.5. I mean, under 9 at -122 or under 8.5 at +100. I'm not going to pay 20 cents for half a run as a push. So yeah, I prefer the 8.5 at the under. And the big thing for me here is yesterday you had a much worse pitcher for Tampa going. You had a much worse pitcher for Kansas City going. Total was 9. So this line really hasn't moved much at all. And I get a better pitching matchup. I get a little degradation in bats as well. A few guys sitting for both teams on a Sunday. So I really like the spot. And the spot also lines up for the Rays pen as well. They didn't go through any of their pen arms yesterday. Royals went through a few, but nothing crazy. And I don't respect that pen much to begin with. But this is just a big number for this park for these starters. So I really like the spot. I think it's an overreaction from yesterday. And it looks like people must be pounding the over as it jumps to 9 also. But yeah, I like the 8.5 +100. You save VIG there as well. You can pay the extra for 9. Just never like to do that. You're paying 20 cents for a push. Again, the game lands 8, you'll lose regardless. If it lands 9, you'll get your money back. But that's the only thing you're paying that juice for. So much prefer to stay at 8.5, and that's where I fired under 8.5 +100. That was it.
Joey Work, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Any thoughts here?
I mean, Holden's really pushing the show forward. JJ's not even
He
done
wanted to go fast.
Oh,
I'll start fucking cutting him off after he starts talking. I don't give a shit.
I do expect both teams to score some runs. I do like JJ's play. I know yesterday everyone's like, I don't think Jordan Lyles hasn't won a game all year. And look what happens. The Royals go out there and beat the fucking Tampa Bay at minus, 300, 350 favorites. So if you're betting Tampa Bay here, just donate to charity, guys. There's no need to bet a minus 300 favorite. Don't even put them in the parlay. Don't do any of that shit. Tyler Glasnow's advanced numbers have been terrible. The guy throws 3 pitches. His advanced numbers have been really bad. Other past the strikeouts, his advanced numbers have been bad. He's getting hit. Hard hit rate is 50% every time. Slugging is almost 600 against. He's given up. How many home runs is he giving up? A good amount of home runs. He's also walking a shit ton of people. I think he's walking almost 3 batters per game. Danny Lynch on the other end. The only thing that kind of scares me is Tampa Bay was terrible versus lefties last year. Obviously their numbers are much better this year. But Danny Lynch doesn't exactly scare me. So yeah, I'm with JJ. I expect runs here. All
right, a couple things here. James Sarconi. Hey, Joey Dunkel versus Holden in the octagon. What's the line? I mean, I don't do 3-ways unless it's with women named Layla and Bambi.
He was asking me the question.
Oh, he was asking you. Joey Dunkel versus Dunkel's like 6 times my size. He's gigantic.
Yeah, Holden is. I know Holden looks big on the show, guys, but he's really 5'3". He's really 5'3". That's like bullshit. I'm taller than you are.
No, you're not. No. I'm taller than you are by like 3 inches, dude.
No shot.
You're a midget,
dude. No
shot. Get out of here.
Imagine Holden calling anybody a midget.
Yeah. Well, next thing, Big T. It's been the same fucking sheet since we opened. I will say this, Big T, as JJ just confirmed, it is not the same sheet. It is no longer on Excel. It is in Google Sheets. Again, it'd be great if the owner of the company.
It's always been in Google Sheets.
No, it hasn't. It was in Excel. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
It is still in Excel.
I don't give a shit that you live in Florida. I hope wherever you live sinks into the ocean. Carleone is in Houston. That's a great addition there. Thank you, Carleone. We got a little Nashville today. I like that. Jim, what Chicago burbs are you in? I'd love to know. We got a little Cocoa Sheets. A lot going on here. This is just amazing. Hingo called me a munchkin. That's not very nice because I'm not a munchkin. You're a munchkin. Your face is a munchkin. We got 3 games left. This is the one that gives Gary a stiffy. I knew he comes on. Braves are in a good spot. Let's get going here. Gary, Charlie Morton against who the hell knows who this Stout son of a bitch is. He's just about Levi Stout's about to get rocked. He sucked in the minors. He's going to get lit up today. How do we get a little different with the Braves? Because everybody should be stacking them if you're paying down a pitcher.
Yeah, so I've been preaching it for about 2 months now. Play the bottom of the order guys. They're not going to be. They're still going to be owned, but they're not going to be as owned as the Acuñas, the Albies, the Olsons. Even Olson yesterday. Like I thought Olson was going to be really expensive yesterday, or really high owned. He's only 13%. So I mean, we got some pretty elite spots in the slate. I think Vlad's going to take some ownership from Olson a little bit today. Olson's just been on fire. Eddie Rosario is another guy on fire. 486 WOBA against righties over the last 30 days. 414 ISO with 80 plate appearances. That's pretty good. Michael Harris is the 9-hole. 412 WOBA, 232 ISO last 30 days. Ozuna's heating up. I mean, you can play Arcia. You can play this whole bottom of the lineup, hit the top 3, and you're instantly different. So I obviously love the Braves. This guy, Levi Stout, I mean, he's got a 5 ERA and a 1.69 whip in the minors this year with only 26 strikeouts in 36 innings. So it's not going to be a good run for him. Their bullpen's not good behind them either. So I'm just going to continue riding the Braves train here today. I'm going to have to mix and match everything in the lineup. But I do like the Cincinnati side here too. Morton can get hit up pretty good here. So while they don't hit the curveball that well, which is like his best pitch, I think I still like some Friedel, some Fraley, some Ellie De La Cruz. I like all the lefties here. Votto, Will Benson at the bottom of the lineup. So this is definitely a game stack opportunity here. Atlanta's thin. If you get the Morton early, you're going to get the bad guys in the pen. You're not going to get the good guys. And even Iglesias, I mean, he gave up some shit yesterday. I thought we were going to give up the game. He's done that a lot recently. He hasn't really been good. So, yeah, I like the bats from both sides in this one.
We got a total of 11.5, Joey Work. We got Reds plus 175. We're not betting a Braves minus 210. What do you think of the total? You got any thoughts there? Gary's breaking it down. I love the Atlanta bats. And listen, Cincinnati can get to Morton in that park.
Yeah, over. Definitely lean with the overs. A pass. I mean, Morton has striked out a decent amount of people, but his advanced numbers haven't been quite good this year either. And the Cincinnati team just knows how to produce runs. The run bases, will steal bases. They've been playing quite well. Maybe the most exciting team as of late. Ellie De La Cruz, hard not to watch when he's at bat. So yeah, definitely lean with the over. As you mentioned, I'm definitely not taking the Braves at this heavy of a favorite, and I'm not really interested in backing Levi Stout.
JJ, any thoughts here on a total?
Yeah, I mean, once again, a big number for this park. This is not, a true East Coast course. You don't have the altitude. 11.5 is a big number for this park. But look, it feels like these days to beat the Reds, you got to score 6 runs. And the Braves did it yesterday. Had a few runs off of errors as well. But needless to say, I can't bet the under in this park despite what I consider a big number for it because the Reds just keep hitting. The Braves, even when they sit like 2 bats, doesn't even look like they sit any bats. That lineup is so good with so much depth. But yeah, ultimately, I was going different directions on the total. As far as the stacks go, I don't look at this as a crazy popular stack, though, Gary, today for Atlanta, Cincinnati. Like, I've been seeing this stack like 20-25% owned daily. The numbers today don't look like that. I mean, Acuña's down to 20%. Yeah. He's usually in the 30s. So, I mean, ultimately, it does look like a lower owned stack than maybe we're used to, but it is still an above average owned stack again today. So I guess maybe it's because of the Blue Jays and other good spots this in the afternoon, but not your typical crazy chalk stack today.
Josh Shack, when you're on Grinder, do you swipe right or skinny fats? Never been on it? Sounds like you have. And we are all inclusive here. So the rainbow is going on at RPS. We love to be inclusive. It's great to see that. Thanks for that. Can Morton outscore Glass now? Because that's big ownership leverage, Gary.
Don't play Morton today, please.
More on the road is always a roller coaster. So if you enjoy a nice fun little extra turbulence, play Morton today.
In a hot Great American Small Park, like why would you even consider playing him? I don't get it.
Okay.
I wouldn't even play Strider today if he was on the mound.
Well, Strider's taking a little step back, hasn't he?
I mean, he has. He's got some mechanical issues he's working out.
All right. Very good. we'll move on to our next one, which is Pittsburgh, Miami. We got Yuri Perez, an RPS favorite since he got called up. Oviedo on the other side. I don't mind Oviedo against Miami today. Gary, as far as bats goes, I don't really want to mess with it. You got any Perez shares, any Oviedo shares, and even bothering with the bats?
So, I love me some Yuri Perez like everybody else here at RPS. I do have a couple concerns here today with him, though. He's got the lowest BABIP on the slate. I think his xFIP is 2 runs higher than his ERA. He's got some negative regression coming soon. I don't think it necessarily will be today. I think this is a good matchup for him to kind of keep on the train a little bit, but his blow up start's coming. It always happens. He does have a nice price tag. His price tag went down after his last start. He does have immense upside. He's got a 34% strikeout rate against lefties. He's actually striking out more lefties than he is righties. The Pittsburgh lineup is littered with lefties today. Long story short, he's in my pool today. I'm not going to get too crazy with ownership on him, though, because, like I said, he will have a blow-up start soon.
I know JJ has a bet on the total. This one's 7. Pirates plus 150, minus 177. Marlins, you like this total here, JJ? It's been, reverse steam down from 7.5 to 7.
Yeah, similar scenario to the game before, just in the opposite direction in terms of over-under. Here, I like it over. I also could have gotten 7 at minus 120, but much like I said before, don't really want to pay 20 cents to push a game. So, yeah, I prefer the over 7.5 at plus 100. And again, that's over. I know that maybe it was confusing on the last game because I know a question came in before. But I did bet this over. This has more to do with the fact that this number is it's like elite pitching number at 7.5 for these two arms. Look, and I get it. Perez has been good, but to Gary's point, regression's on its route. Will it happen today? I'll be honest. I don't like the fact that Pittsburgh went out of their way to platoon these bad lefties. I get it. He's been much more hittable against left-handed bats, but they have much better right-handed bats that they're sitting today for these lefties. I get it, though. He's given up, 3 home runs in less of a sample to left-handed bats. So he definitely has some power issues. 95 degrees today in that park. Going to get a little extra carry. Yes, it's a big pitcher's park, but this number is so low. I don't have a lot of faith on both bullpens either. So, yeah, I think, you could get a gem out of Perez. You could get a decent gem out of Oviedo. But keep in mind, at this number, you really need a gem out of both. So I do like the fact that I'm getting a number that really reflects elite pitching, and we don't have elite pitching. So I do like this over 7.5. I definitely think we're going to get a lot of foot traffic today.
Joey, work? Anything?
Yeah, I think Perez probably pitches pretty good here. The Marlins did say after this start, they're probably going to put him on hold a little bit because this will be the most innings he's pitched in his career in the season. So I expect, him probably to empty the tank today and then move on where he sits out a month or so, maybe even longer. I do somewhat like Oviedo. On the other end, I don't expect both these teams barely score. If you look at Pittsburgh, I mean, their fucking runs the last 20 games, I think they scored over 3 runs, maybe twice. This team just cannot score at all. Obviously, that's why they're trending in the wrong direction. And it is a, I don't know. So I guess
who gives a shit
here, but yeah, it is what it is. I do think the Marlins probably win, but I'm gonna stay away.
And
I'm sorry about that.
Just to real quick hit that Smokestack comment, 7 at BetMGM. Keep in mind you're paying 15 cents for a push there. It's just the game has to fall 7 for you to get your money back. I just never find any value in that. So yes, while you could go buy down to 7, keep in mind you're paying 15 cents for that move, and you only push if it lands 7, lands 6, you lose both bets anyway. Just keep that in mind.
Red Sox, White Sox, our last game on the DFS slate for Gary. I'm sure he's happy to get off of the show here pretty soon. We got Cutter Crawford coming off 5 shutout innings in Minnesota. And then we got a little Tukey Toussaint and Tanner Banks. So we'll get a few guys just pitching a couple innings here. I think it's going to be really warm, isn't it, Gary, in Chicago? And I think we can make a little play with the bats, at least on the Boston side. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so this Tanner Banks guy is just straight ass cheeks. Very, very bad, especially the right-handed bats. He was like a 30-year-old journeyman in the minors or something. So the never bodes well. So, I mean, the Red Sox, this spot is awesome. It's 92 degrees in Chicago, 18-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left field. So very pristine hitting conditions here today. Boston, while they have they put out a lineup here, they got Dahlbeck back in there, which sucks because he sucks. But I like everybody else. I've been playing this Caleb Hamilton guy in the 9-hole. He's got some speed. He's very cheap in DFS. So if you need like a $2,200 shortstop that's dirt cheap, he's fine. But yeah, I love me some Boston bats here. I like the whole lineup. Rick Snyder, Turner, Givers, Duvall, Yoshida. I like them all. I'll probably skip Dahlbeck though because he sucks.
Joey Work, we've got a total of 10.5, even money over, -20 to the under. Red Sox favored at -15, -103. Actually, and the White Sox -103. So they're little home dogs here. I guess. I don't know, -103 still. But what do you got, Joey? What do you think of the total at 10.5 in this weather and the pitchers for White Sox?
Yeah, I definitely expect some runs here. It's almost 90 degrees. This is probably somewhat of a bullpen game for the White Sox. I know the White Sox bullpen has slowly got a little bit better, but I definitely still don't trust them. Touki Toussaint got DFA'd I feel like a month ago. Now he's on the White Sox here for, he's going to pitch maybe 3 innings, 4 at the most, and then they'll hand it over to the bullpen. On the other end, Cutter Crawford doesn't exactly scare me. I do think the White Sox probably will start trending in the right direction. I know they have struggled maybe 7.5 games out, but I do expect them to start, playing some decent ball, especially with that division that's probably the worst in baseball, and starting to get back in the race, I guess you could say, in their division. But I do lean with Boston here. Obviously, it's hard to bet on Touki Toussaint and a full bullpen game here. I do think Boston's offense is probably better as well, so that's where I'm at.
Okay. JJ, any thoughts on the side or total?
Looks like from an ownership projection standpoint, looks like this is going to be the biggest stacked game of the slate overall. I'm sure more people play the Braves in general, but as far as the full games, looks like the biggest stacked game on it. Can't mind it. I will say from a betting perspective, I will never bet an over 10.5 at this park. Basically a max ceiling number for this park. You're not going to see an 11 at this park practically ever. So can't do that. But again, you do have a pretty bad pitching matchup. You do have warm weather. You do have thick bats. So I get it. DFS wise makes sense. But no bet for me in this one.
Okay, like button would be wonderful. We do have a good question from Liliana Tellez before Gary leaves us, and maybe JJ leaves us. Question for the panel. I think this is really a question for Joey because he's the only single one here. If you're on a dinner date, you order for your date or allow them to order for themselves. Joey Work, what do you do?
Why the fuck would I order for my date?
Well, I mean, I have. Basically, you take them to a really nice restaurant and you say, she'll have the cheapest fucking thing on the menu. And if she complains, you say, shut the hell up. You should just be happy you're in my presence.
That's why
he takes him to a nice steak place and makes him order a chicken parm.
Right.
Yeah,
you get her
that's
the
why
cheapest
Holden's
beer.
on his 8th wife.
Yeah, you get her the cheapest, lowest cost drink. Try and get her drunk. She'll forget that you ordered her the worst freaking thing on the menu, and then you take care of business.
She's like, "I'll take a scotch," and he's like, "You'll be good with a natty ice."
Yeah, you'll take it. Exactly. You'll be fine with a sword fighter. You know what a sword fighter is?
I don't.
It's a shot glass of water, and you stick a sword in it, and that's it. And you just send it over, and it doesn't cost you anything. And these drunk people think they're getting something, so it's just wonderful. Thank you, Liliana. See, Liliana knows the game. All she wants is a man to order for her. She wants a man to order something really cheap, and then go home and not have to worry.
We've been over this on Liliana though. We do believe this is one of your burners, Holden.
Yes,
I like Liliana. I don't have a burner. You not getting the Chiefs after. I don't even know what that means.
I mean, you know what it means.
Yeah, I don't. Gary, you're about to leave us. Can you give us a dong call?
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot like
I'm
that?
gonna put you on the spot. Just pick a Brave.
Eddie Rosario.
It's wonderful to see you, Gary. You take care of yourself, pal. We'll catch you next Sunday.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right, Gary.
Later,
hold
Gary.
on. I got to change this goddamn thing here. This show's just. It's very difficult between the people I work with and everything else. It's just not easy to do. When do you want to leave, JJ? You have 4 minutes to your NASCAR show. I really don't give a shit if you leave now or later. I've been in your presence for long enough. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, you get this wrong every week, so you could just send me off now.
What do you mean I get it wrong every week? Get the fuck out of here. We're Joey Work. It's great to see. He's laughing behind the scenes. Good to see JJ. NASCAR show going on here in a minute. And let's not forget that it goes head to head with this show. So I'm so excited about this. Thanks, guys. Usually I put things that are bad about me up here, but no, I'll actually do nice things today. So that's great to hear. Joey Work, it's wonderful to be with you. I'm glad that JJ's out of here. I know that you still have a show, a bet to come here in just a little bit, but let's get through this afternoon slate. We could break down the Astros and Dodgers too, but we start here in Colorado. I went to sleep after it was 25-0. Did the Rockies end up scoring a run late? I think they did. It was amazing that all the Ohtani props went to the under and they still scored 25 runs. Are you shitting me? This is absolutely amazing. So Angels, Rockies, my friend, it's absolutely nuts. Austin Gomber, who's been absolute trash. Tyler Anderson, who's not been the same pitcher this year as he was last year. Total here is 12.5. I mean, I don't like betting 12.5s, but it's a hot day in Denver. We got Gomber on the mound. Angels -148. Rockies plus $1.25. What do you got here, Joey Work?
I mean, they couldn't make this total high enough. It's
right?
12.5. I'm still on the over. I'm still leaning with the over. I didn't bet it, but definitely still lean with the over. Gomber gives up fucking 4 runs every single start. Guy's booty cheeks, and we know the Rockies are good versus lefties. Tyler Anderson doesn't scare me at all. He pitched one good season in with the Dodgers. Everyone sucked him off. Now he's back to reality. Okay, the guy's not very good at all. His ERA is almost 6. I mean, in his career, his ERA is almost 5 in his career. So, yeah, one good season. He gets paid, and now welcome back to reality. So, I definitely expect runs. Bullpens for both teams really don't scare me either. Yeah, so definitely lean with the full game over. Essentially, I'm going to stay away, but yeah.
Jim Wadham, can you guys not start 15 minutes early? I mean, we could, but the schedule says to start 15 minutes later than you'd like for us to do so. So I don't, maybe he wants JJ to be here for the whole show. I think that's what he's saying. That's all you had to do. I understand, but no, we're probably not going to change. I don't mind. I get up early on Sundays anyways. I don't give a shit. We can.
Yeah. Jim, just send me like $100 to my Cash App every week. We'll start 15 minutes early.
And also, Joey's doing cameos. So if you want to ask him for a cameo, he can just yell at you. Say, open a fucking card here. This is what
I should sign up for I should do that. I think you should. I think Joey Work should do cameos. Now, some people charge $500, some do $250, but you'll do it for $100? Yeah, $100 30-second cameo, no doubt.
30-second cameo. All you do is yell at the person. You're like, this is what you're going to bet today. God damn it. This is Joey Work. That'd be awesome. I would love that, Joey Work. You should start doing cameos for Run Pure Bets. I mean, we're not going to pay you much for it, but we'd love some Joey Work cameo bets. You just screaming at people to make bets. I think we're on to something here, pal.
I think we're
definitely on to something. You got to play on Diamondbacks Giants. This one's in San Francisco, -130 for the Giants. D-backs +10 on the road. 9 is the total. Juice to the over, -114. Joey Work, what do you like in this one?
Yeah, I did fire on the over here, 8.5 last night. I'm fine with 9 available now. DeSclafani versus Ryan Nelson, both pitchers pretty bad. DeSclafani, I think he gives up the guy gives up 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs every single start. His last 5 starts, he's done that. Gives up homers all the time. He's actually been walking people's last couple starts as well. He also gets a Diamondbacks team. I think they played 2 games so far this series. Yesterday was 8-7. Day before the runs have been out of their mind. Even the Diamondbacks, if you look back, the Diamondbacks the last month, they've got to be averaging like 5 runs per game. And on the other end, this Giants team, what are they? 9-1 their last 10 games. This team is on fire. They've now are the second in the NL West. They jumped the Dodgers, second in the NL West behind this Diamondbacks team. So I do expect them to score some runs. Ryan Nelson definitely does not scare me. He'll probably pitch about 4-5 innings at most, hand it over to the bullpen, and more runs will be scored there. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking it over here. I know the number is 9 now, but I'm fine with the number 9.
All right, those are our bets here. Joey's gone through his. JJ's gone through his. I'll give you a whale cock play here in just a few minutes. But first, we got the Nationals and the Padres And this one set up for a nice little run fest yesterday. You know what, Joey Work? Sometimes the games go under. That's what happened. Mackenzie Gore, lefty, former prospect with the Padres, came over in the Juan Soto deal. Former Mets Seth Lugo on the mound. I'm looking at the Nationals came out with their lineup. I mean, if we're just looking at DFS side, I always love Lane Thomas. Never really highly owned. One of the better leadoff hitters that nobody talks about. So let's talk about it from a bet side, though. Padres minus 200, Nats plus 165, total 8. Joey Work, you want to go back here tonight? Because I just want to stay away.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away too. Yesterday it was either I take the over or I take the Nationals, and I did go with the over. That was obviously a loser. I didn't expect, Josiah Gray to blank this San Diego Padres team, but I don't expect them to get blanked back-to-back days. Mackenzie Gore, I know, I get it. He's got a little, motivation going against his old team, but I mean, how far can motivation go? His advanced numbers have been quite bad this year. He did get shelled his last start. Another guy that gives up a shit ton of home runs. And then Seth Lugo on the other end. I mean, this guy used to be a bullpen arm. Now they're like, hey, you want to start for us? Okay, pitch 5 innings for us. If you give up less than 5 runs, we're happy. So yeah, it's going to be essentially a bullpen game. And if you've watched the last couple weeks, last week, the problem with the San Diego team is their bullpen. The bullpen blew like 4 games last week alone versus the Giants. Or 3 games versus the Giants. So yeah, this is another lean with the over. And if you want it, I guess I'm definitely not betting minus 200 favorites on the Padres with Seth Lugo on the hill. I do think the Padres likely win. They're the better offense, but yeah, that's where I'm at. All
right. Very good. We got one game to go. Hunter Brown coming off a rough start against the Mets. Got Tony Gonsolin, who's pitched very well statistically so far. Good pitcher at night too. This is the Sunday night baseball game. Astros at the Dodgers. Astros plus 104, Dogs on the road. Doyers minus 122. Total here is 8.5. So a night game out in Los Angeles. This will be a what time does that start out by you? 7:10. So 7:10 start Eastern time. Any case that we can make to take the Astros tonight?
Yeah, fucking Tony Gonsolin's got to be the most smoke and mirrors pitcher. If you watch him, you're like, how the fuck does this guy pitch good every single time? Mm-hmm. I've watched almost all the starts. Maybe I missed like 1 or 2 of his starts, but this guy is due for regression, man. There's no way. I get it. You Dodgers fans, you can suck him off, and then when it comes to the playoffs, you're gonna be like, you really want to trust Tony Gonsolin in the playoffs? Absolutely not. And as we see in his last start, he finally got hit hard. He gave up 7 earned runs to the Giants. So this, obviously, we know this Astros team is a very good offense, even without Yordan Alvarez in there. Hunter Brown, I definitely prefer Hunter Brown over Tony Gonsolin. That's for sure. I know Hunter Brown has got hit hard a couple starts as well. But yeah, I do like the Astros here. It's probably Astros or pass. I cannot bet Tony Gonsolin. This is actually a cheap favorite. He's been a higher favorite mostly every start. But yeah, I'm not betting Gonsolin. Until I see, I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
I got to go back here. Go look at that Reds Braves total. All right, we're up to 11.5 now. Whew, it's going to be tough. Joey Work, we'll get your best bet. I'll give the whale cock. And then I got a fun little same game parlay today since I'm all in on this Reds Braves game. But what's the best bet here, Joey Work?
Yeah, so I have 2 best bets. Brewers money line minus 110, and then Diamondbacks Giants full game over 8.5. I gave last night. I'm fine with 9 now.
Abe Toro with some good constructive criticism here. I can't take another day of Holden. I just don't understand what purpose he serves. I'm with you. I'm just very happy to be here. I don't know why they hired me. I don't know what I do here that really helps very much, but you know what? I'll keep taking the paycheck, Abe, and you go screw yourself. Anyways, favorite.
Why is everyone so mean to Holden? Holden actually, is funny, gets he keeps the show moving. He doesn't give, the best content, but we have 3 fucking other people on the show. We have 3 people on the show giving out winners. Holden does his fucking job. Stop hating on Holden, all right, guys?
No, it's fine. I actually asked for it the first year and a half of the show, and there's just a couple people that keep doing it. And that's about it. So Abe Toro's in here. He always talks shit. I give him a little bit of showtime, and that's about it. Well, that's not a very good reason, James, but whatever. I'll take it. Whalecock play of the day got to be a 800 minus 800 or better bet. We're going to go Braves team total over 2.5 minus 1150. So that'll be the great one. You're right, boss bro. Nobody expects anything out of me, dude. That's why I love working here. I gave you the Whalecock play. You can go watch the other show. That's good. And that's it. See, now my fan club's coming out. You're right, Smokestack, no question. But also I got a little same game parlay I want to throw out. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. It's plus 1050. It's a fun little bet on a Sunday. Plus actually 1062. I'm gonna go Braves Reds. Let's go 2+ total bases. Eddie Rosario, he's been on fire. 2+ total bases for Ellie De La Cruz. 2+ total bases for Matt Olson. 2+ bases for Ronald Acuna. Plus 1062. I might as well just bet the over, right, Joey?
Yeah, that was nice. I like it.
Just 11.5. I'll bet the over. All right. Thanks to Gary from the DFS side for hopping on. Always great to see Gary. Can't say the same thing about JJ, but you can watch his NASCAR show right now. Joey Work cameos coming at you. I really hope we get this bit going, Joey Work. I think it'd be wonderful. We could throw it up on the Instagram, Joey Work cameos, if you want to get yelled at and get winners at the same time. So
that would be pretty funny.
I got to throw Albies in there too, Jake. I mean, I already placed the bet. I'm not going to do it.
No. You don't have to get too crazy,
Yeah, you don't want to get too crazy. Like button on the way out. Summer 33 is the code. We still got a lot of great things going on. Joey does UFC content, MMA. Check out the bet side. If you're already with us, add the bet side for $20. That's wonderful. Joey Work, when's the next time we're going to catch you here?
I'll be live Tuesday and Wednesday night on this channel, giving out a free bet Tuesday night and then a full slate run day and Wednesday night for Thursday. I would appreciate some fucking views, guys. I don't know what's going on. I did a whole half-hour rundown, every game, every play. I gave out 3 best bets. They all won. I got like 200 views on the fucking video. What do I got to do to get some more views? I get more views on a Run Pure Bets channel that has half the followers.
Okay. Joey turned out after the second leg of these.
You're right.
He's not wrong. You're not wrong, Joseph. It's all right. But you know what? Rarely do I pay attention to anybody here at RPS. And I think everybody would actually look at this and say, you're right. He doesn't. Anyways, thank you, JJ. Thank you, Gary. Joey, always a pleasure to see you, buddy. Big T, learn how to use the site once in a while. That'd be great. I'm Holden, and keep running pure.